Hello and welcome back to Developers Diary. In the previous two tutorials, we have learned about the master detail payload APIs in which we are creating get, post, update and delete APIs for master detail payload. So today we are going to consume these APIs in our Oracle Apex application. So let's log in the Apex workspace, create an application. I have created an application here. So first of all, we are going to create a data source, REST data source. And for that, we are going to use our REST APIs that we have already created. So this is the API that we are using for getting all the orders from our APIs. So these are the APIs that we have created in our last two tutorials. So give it a name, order, details, API, and provide URL endpoint and click next. After that, create next. We are going to use the default configurations and then we shall discover this API. So this is giving a response as a customer name, order ID, and order date. So we are going to create this data resource. So this is the data resource that has been created for us. Then we are going to the application, and this time we are going to create interactive report. And this is for order details report, and we are going to use the REST data source that we have created right now and click create page. So here in the columns you can see the items, which is actually the detail part, and we are going to hide them. So we are going to use the hidden here, and then we have the order, create, order date, and customer name. So let's name it as order number and save, and let's run the page. So you can see that the order numbers and order date. Now we shall create a page for showing the order details. This time we are going to use a blank page and name it as order details and create. Now we shall add regions here. First region is the static, and which is the header info, and then we have page item, which is the order number. Then we have another page item, which is the customer name, and the last one is order date. Now what we want to do here, we are going to the report here, select the report and go to the attributes and select the link to custom target. And we are going to select our order detail page here and pass the order number as an order ID and click OK. Select here the edit pencil. Now we shall move to order detail page. Here we shall discuss two concepts to get the data. The first one is the page level rendering. Through this we are going to set the headers information, and another option is to get through Ajax callback. So for items we shall use that option. So use the first option and create a process after header. Get the information. And here we are going to use this one, information page load, to get the header information. So we are going to use this code here. So what we are doing here, this is our API to get the information of a single order. So we are using this API here and providing the order number, which is mentioned here. We are passing through interactive report. You can see that P4 order number, P4 order number, and we are going to use the method which is the get method. Then we are getting the information in, you can say, response, and parsing the response into JSON. Then we are getting the items of that array. So you can see that here is the response of our get API. So this is basically an array without any header caption. So that's why we are going to use this option and getting the first value, which is the value of an object. You can see that this is the first value, and then we are getting the order name. You can see the customer name and the order date here. So we are getting the order date here, and we are passing or setting into the order date and the customer name. Click OK. One thing that we have to do is to verify it is validating. Click save, go to the report and refresh it. So you can see an edit button here. Click on it and you can see that it is passing the information of your order. Let's go back again and select the order number 3, and you can see that information as well here. So the next option is to get the detailed information. For that we are going to create another region, and which is the item details, and it will be interactive grid. So one thing I want to say that in the result we are getting the detail ID, item name, quantity and price. So I am going to create interactive grid based on this SQL query, because we are not going to use any table here from our database. We are going to fetch the information from API. So we need these column into the interactive grid. So we are going to use this simple select and parsing null into respective or required data type. And we are getting from dual, validate it and click OK, and you will get the detail, ID, item name and quantity. Here we are going to make it as a primary key and enable the attributes editing here and click save. So now what we are going to do, the next option is to get the information by using JSON callback. So we are going to get the items information on page load. So what we are going to do, we are going to execute a code here, which is a JavaScript code. Before that, we are going to processing and create a callback function. So here we are going to use our callback function. This is our callback function, and this is a script that we are going to use here. Validate the script, click OK, and provide it a name, and the name that we are going to use in our JSON callback. So this is the name that we are going to use in our JSON callback. So name it as. Now we are going to understand what this script is going to do. So in this script, we are getting the variable value that we are passing through our JavaScript code and getting the information of the order through this API using the get method. Then we are going to parse the response into JSON, and then we are going to create a JSON array for these items. So in the items, you can see that this is the first array in which we have items, and then items have an other array that we are going to use. So this is first array that get the items, and it will iterate through each item entry. So we are going to create an array, and then we open an object, and in the object we are going to get the values of these items. So this is the first array, then we are getting the item object, and then we are going to use this array and getting the value of their attributes. So you can see here, this is the first array that we have items, then we have another array, and then we have the attributes, detail, ID, item name, quantity and price. So we are going to fetch by using this loop, for loop, and setting the value into the JSON object. You can say writing into the JSON object. Then we are going to close the JSON object, and after ending the loop, we are going to close this array. So this is the Ajax callback that is getting the information from your API and iterate through each attributes of the item and creating an array of object that is setting these attributes. Click OK. Then we are going to create the code into our JavaScript. So this is the dynamic action that we are going to use. Before that, we are going to get the ID of our interactive grid. So for that, one thing that we have to do here is to pass this code here, So what are we doing here in this code? In the JavaScript code, we are getting the ID of the grid, and then we are checking that if length is 0, then interactive grid was not found. Then we are going to get the view and the model. Here we are checking that the order number is not empty. If the order number is not empty, then we are going to pass the order number into the variable and calling this ajax call that we have created right before. And after getting the success message, we are going to set the items. You can see that the response of this data, or you can say the response of this get order detail ajax call is item, and in the items we are getting the value of attributes that we have set before, and then we are going to set the values into the interactive grid attributes. And if there is any error, so we can say unable to load order details. So this is actually we are going to do here. Before that, let's refresh it. Click over here. So you can see that interactive grid not found. So what we are going to do, we are going to inspect here and go to the console, and here we are going to write a JavaScript code and press enter. So this is the ID of our interactive grid. So we shall go there and change the ID of our interactive grid and click OK, click save, go to the item detail, and one thing that we have to do is to add row if empty. Unmark this, check, and go back to the report and select this. Thing that we have missed here is to add the hashtag before this code. So click OK, click save, and go to the report, leave this page and click on the, so you can see that we are getting the information of headers and as well as items. So one thing we have to do is to remove the save button here. Go to the attributes and remove this save button and click save. And the thing that we have to do is to remove this column and save the report for all the users. So now what we are going to do, we are going to create a region here for the buttons. We are going to create a save button. Click save, and what we are going to do next, so we are going to use the put and post API. So first of all, what we have to do, we are going to create an dynamic action. It will be an execute JavaScript code, and we are going to use this code here. So what we are doing here, similarly, we are getting the interactive grid values and getting the model of this interactive grid. Then we are fetching the information of interactive grid IDs and setting into our item array. So this is the detail block that we are going to create for each row. After that, what we are going to do, we are going to create a payload, and in the payload, we are setting the customer name and the order date and item array. So this is the complete payload that we are going to send through our port or post API. So after that, we are going to display this in a console. And what we are doing here, we are going to call uh, apex ajax callback function, and here we are setting the order number and passing the JSON array, and in the response we are going to set the success message. And one thing that we are doing here for the redirection, if you are going to redirect to your report page, so that why we have add this page number, and this is the app ID, and this is the instance, and we are showing the order successful message here. So for this we are going to use the cancel warning on unsafe change, because we are fetching the values from API and inserting into the interactive grid. So interactive grid, when we are navigating from interactive grid, or you can say detail page item to report, then the apex thing you have not save your changes, so it will populate a match dialog box. So to prevent the apex to show that dialog box, we are using this statement. So this is the order, save order, and click save. Then we are going to processing and create another process. It will be an ajax callback function, and the code is here. Validate. And what we are doing here, we are getting the payload using global variable that we are passing through our JavaScript trigger, and we are getting deleting the headers information if any already used. Then we are setting the contact type and application JSON. After that, we are checking that the order number, if the order number that we are passing through dynamic action is null, then we are going to create our order by using this API. And if it is not null, it means it is updating something if order number or order ID is not met. So for that, we are going to use our put API and update the information. And after that, we shall pass the response. If is there any error, it will provide the error message as well. Click OK and save. One thing that we have to do here in the dynamic action of, we have to use this interactive grid ID here as well. So we are going to pass this interactive ID and click OK and click save. Now we shall go again and click on this order and add another item and make it as keyboard for apex and make it to quantity and is 5,000. Now we are going to click the save button. So you can see that the message order has been saved, and we are going to open this again. So you can see that our update API is working fine. So this is our put and post API. One thing that we can do here, you can see that leave. We are going to create a button here. Go to the port, and here we are going to create a button, and slot will be top of the region, and name it as create, or you can choose any other slot that you want here. We have this one, save and refresh page. So we have a create here. So what we are going to, we are going navigate a page in this application, and this is the order page, and we are going to click OK. Now click on this order. I think I have, I didn't save the changes here, and one thing that we have to do is to clear region, and we are going to use our page as well. So click create and name it as order date. You can ask any item, and click save button, and you can see that another order is created with order number 81. In the date is mentioned as 12th of August. So you can see that the information is saved for the new order as well. So the next option that we are going to use is the delete option for the order. So we are going to create another button and name it as delete. And for that, we are going to create a dynamic action as well. We're going to use this script. It will be JavaScript code. And here, what we are going to do here we are asking the confirmation message. Are you sure you want to delete this order? If it is okay, then we are going to call our Ajax callback. And here we are passing the variable to this Ajax callback function and passing the order number into this. And in case of success message, we are mentioned the order deleted successful and navigating to our report. And else we are showing error message, and now we are going to processing and create delete order Ajax callback, passing this code here, In this code, what we are doing in this code, we are calling our delete API and getting the variable which is the order number from the dynamic action that we are using to call this ajax callback. So the delete method is here, and if there is any error, then it will return an error. So we are going to click OK, and then we are going to save and refresh the page. So we have button delete here, but we want to in parallel. So this is showing in parallel, but one thing that we have to go and set there is to set the template as button container and click save. And we shall go back to our report and click in, and you can see that now they are looking nice. So what we are going to use the delete option here, and here it is asking, are you sure you want to delete this order? We are going to click OK, and it will say the order is deleted, and you can see that the order is deleted from the report as well. So I hope you have learned something useful today related to consuming the master detail payload APIs in Oracle Apex. So see you in the next tutorial. Thank you for watching.